Hi folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. I've made a similar video before, but this one is a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you another way that you can use your trusty paint marker to identify tools. Now, one of the things that we see here is what we all have, and that is a collection of diverse and loose Allen wrenches. If you're lucky, and I have several sets of these, you have some Allen wrenches in a holder. But as you look at this, this holder, I made a little effort on the back here, and you can probably see it here, to put a little paint on these. Without a little paint on these, it's molded black plastic, and sometimes, because there is no contrast, the numbers, the sizes of these Allen wrenches just don't stand out. But if you take your paint marker, and I've already done this one, and just barely touch the numbers, you can highlight them. And sometimes it smudges a little bit. It's a little bit messy. But it allows you to see exactly what you have inside your holder here. So here's one, as we're looking at it here. Here's one that is untouched up. And what I did first is just wipe some white paint across it and then wipe it off to give me some contrast. But I'm going to do it live here. I'm just going to touch one or two of these. I'm not going to take time to do them all. Always keep your paper towel handy to get the excess paint off. Well, that didn't go as good as I wanted, but there we go. You really have to be able to kiss these with the marker. And if you look, you can see, especially the one on the left, it's a 1/8 inch. Every one of them will not stand out as plainly as others. The next is 5/32. So that makes a really nice way, and I really like how this one turned out. You're able to dress these up where they're a lot more visible, and I don't have to get down and actually squint with glasses on. I can actually see this without glasses. But you're also going to notice that in your loose Allen wrenches, there are, as there are with any other tool, there are tools and there are tools. So there are Allen wrenches and there are Allen wrenches. Some of these are the cheap ones. These are the kind of things that I have picked up. You know, you buy you assemble it type project, and they'll have a couple of Allen wrenches in it. I don't throw any of these things away because sooner or later I'll need one. But your better Allen wrenches actually have the sizes stamped on them. These are all blank. So what I do with these, as you can see here, I just found a metal lid and I laid them out from smallest to largest. And I had my shiny ones and my black ones there. There's no real differentiation. I don't know what the sizes are. But as I looked at my other Allen wrenches, which I had grouped together, I found that they did have an imprint on them. Now, I did these months ago, but even with months of fading, you can see where the size, which this is an 8mm, is readily visible, and it's as simple as like we did with our sockets. Just put some paint on here and let it get down in the grooves, and before it has time to paint to dry on the surface, and you saw it live there, it's already much brighter. Here is a big one, which I knew would be better for the camera. And whether you can see the size on that, this is a 1/2 inch. Let's just do it live. Get some paint right in that 1/2 inch. Get it in there good and deep. And then you're wiping off the surface and leaving the paint in the groove. Now, I didn't get it all off the surface, but look how bright that is. Same thing here. This one's got a really deep engraving on it. It's really nice, but it lacks contrast. So I put some paint on there, and I really want to get paint down in there. So I'm having to... Look how clear that stands up. So another way, visibility is such an advantage. And all of these, I'm making sure I've got them all marked. The bigger ones are easy to see, but the smaller ones, here's one. Let me brighten it up. Well, it's bright enough. That's a 6mm. I would never be able to see that without really getting a good magnification on my glasses and getting it up close to my face. But I'm able to see this really well. One of the silver ones, it has such a deep etch. Silver gives its own contrast, the bright polish, but you can still do it. White is probably not the color to give you an advantage. But even that, it stands out a little more. I would probably want to do a bright yellow. I've got to get me a yellow marker. So it's just another idea to take care of your tools in such a way that you can find them more easily. And I cannot emphasize much as I've aged the problem with these eyes. And it was so interesting because for years and years and years, I had such sharp eyesight. And I still do at distance. I really, really do. But when I became farsighted and lost the ability to see things clear, the first place it showed up for me was with a friend of mine. He's passed on now, but we're both recreational shooters. We had our favorite .22 rifles, and you know, like guys do, I told my story about how good mine was, and he told his story about how good his was, and we both told the other guy that, you know, mine's better than yours, and he said, you come to the house and we'll prove it. So I showed up with my .22 rifle, and he had a nice shooting range where we were shooting, and I didn't have a scope on my rifle. Now, he was 15, 20 years older than me. He had his scope, and he said, well, I can't see my sights. And we shot pretty much a dead heat. But he laughed because I was squinting, and he kept saying, well, what's wrong with you, boy? And I said, well, I can either see my sights up close, or I can see my target. But for the first time in my life, I can't see both. I have to focus on one or the other. And he was laughing because he had already experienced that change in eyesight. And I won't tell you whose rifle was better, but I was happy that day. But anyway, since that time, it's gotten worse. And especially if you work on a computer, it's going to be worse. So just make life a little easier for yourself. You can take more of that paint off if you want. But it makes such an easy thing. And again, I buy one of these and I use them for years. So the investment in a $5 or $6 marker is irrelevant to me because I use it in so many different ways and so many different applications. So I hope this helps you as you order your toolbox over the years. This is the Bald Guy. Hope you'll give us a like. I hope you'll subscribe if you know someone who could use this. Share this on your feed, and we'll appreciate it. Have a good day.